This week's Fishing Canada episode is an exciting one.
Fish on. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, buddy, it's a big one. Probably hundreds of smallmouth around us right now. Oh, there's a nice one too. Oh, yeah, beautiful.
Nice fish.
Whoa, here he comes. Here he's coming up. Coming up. Oh, my God. Oh, that is a giant.
The Fishin' Canada Show, brought to you in part by Ram Trucks, built to serve. Princecraft Boats, dominate the waters. Garmin, plot your paradise, reel 'em in. And Ontario, Canada, in partnership with Destination Ontario.
Hey everybody, this week's Fishing Canada episode is an exciting one. Not that the others haven't been, but this week we're taking on and going head-to-head with what is often referred to as the best pound-for-pound fighting freshwater game fish in all of Canada. Heck, maybe even the world, the smallmouth bass.
On this trip, the smallies that we've already located are what we call anything but positive, which is just a wordy way of saying they're negative. A cold front just blew through the area, and Ange and I are again stuck with trying to figure out these bottom huggers. The area is weed-free, with lots of flat rock bottom and the odd boulder. The depth varies from about 12 feet to over 20.
Add to this, we've got a very unique situation in the world of smallmouth, and that is smallies relating to timber, and more specifically, standing timber, under the surface, not visible to the naked eye.
Now, not all these fish are in and amongst the wood. On the contrary, in typical smallmouth fashion, it seems like they're roaming around hunting for food and then moving back into the timber for cover. Interesting.
When confronted with post-cold front fish, Pete and I are always optimistic, if you will, in that we'll at least try our luck with moving baits like crankbaits, jerkbaits, and even top water baits. Unfortunately, on this day, it was becoming very evident that we'd have to dig deep and slow way down to connect. This means staying in contact with the bottom with either some kind of jig or by drop shotting, both of which we're very familiar and confident with.
Fish on.
That was behind yours, eh?
Yep.
So you got them all riled up?
Maybe, eh? Yeah, I bet you that's what happened.
You got it riled up for me.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Watch the troller. We got a little school working up there.
Try it. Get in there
What the
behind
heck,
them.
right?
So I threw a little bottom bouncing jig and started working the bottom with it just to see if maybe things, and it worked. I think we might try that again or just start throwing this period.
And the wind has got picked up too, might make a difference,
might
right?
make a difference, yeah.
You got him?
Yep. Whoa. Easy.
Oh, buddy, it's a big one. Fatty.
Look at that
Woo-hoo.
thing.
Nicely done.
It is
Back up.
that tube jig that I got him on. And that might have been from a school that Pete riled up with his topwater bait. That's why I threw him behind him. Just a little tube jig. He mucked it all up on me. Now I'm gonna have to retie something new on there, but that worked really nice. Look how fat he is. He's been eaten down. Hey?
Ooh. Ooh.
That is one fat smallmouth.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Go do that again.
That was awesome. That just proves that you get the fish riled up, right? The
Yeah.
school gets all wound up. No
In you
bites,
go,
no
buddy.
bites. And then boom. Nice fish, buddy.
Woo.
Way to go. Whoa, here he comes. Here he's coming up. Coming up. Oh,
Got one on.
Get
And my rod was in the water.
no way. Here's a little smallie insight for you. Ange and I have fished for smallmouth on a number of lakes in a number of provinces, and the commonality of this species from coast to coast is almost surprising.
For instance, these fish we're catching in a lake in northern Ontario act and feed very much the same as river fish in New Brunswick or even inland lakes on Vancouver Island.
The point we're trying to make here is, if you plan on traveling throughout the province, across Canada, or anywhere else the smallmouth bass live, The basic fishing tactics that you use successfully on your home lake should work elsewhere. Don't be intimidated by the geographic location. Smallies love to hunt and eat. Hoping this is not a pike.
No,
Are
that's
you
not
over
a
me
pike.
or under me? Or, oh, you're there.
That's not a pike, guarantee it. You wouldn't look at this situation and say you guys are going to get into a whole bunch of fish, but when you're doing what we're doing, and that is dropping it right
Here
on
he
him.
comes. Here he coming up. Coming up. Oh, yeah,
Nice
beautiful.
fish.
Oh, is that your line? You must have I saw something yellow.
Yeah. Okay, I'll let you work that.
He's pulling like crazy, I know that. You got a fish on, or no, it's the same fish.
No,
is
it's the
it?
same fish.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
wait a minute. Where's my bait? Oh, there it is. Okay, so I can get around you one more time, Peter. Or is it
I'll
twice?
just get him in the net.
All right. It's going to happen a lot when you're throwing a bait back to a fish that's already hooked up.
Oh,
It's inevitable.
yeah.
Here, I got your rod.
Nice little chunker.
Nice long fish, eh?
Yeah. Gorgeous fish. They are loaded in front of us. It is so nice watching them on the finder, and then they just with 100% confidence throwing to a school of those. Because Ange had 4 follow his bait in earlier, so it's just amazing.
Yeah, and all that size too.
Yeah, exactly. Wow, the one we got earlier
Was even bigger. Yeah.
when we found the school. So,
Oh, got one on.
Get him.
And my rod was in the water.
no way.
Yep.
That is amazing. Look at this. It's a walleye.
Walleye.
It's a walleye.
So some of those might be walleye down there, Petey. Hey?
I don't know. There you go, brother.
Gold, baby. That there's Ontario gold. If you were in the eating mode right now, that's what you want right there. Woo! Hey, guess what? The birds are coming too. Look at
Oh
this.
boy. They're hearing it going on. They're saying it's on. The boys are on.
We might start getting them into a bit of a frenzy, you know. We're making it sound like they're hot fish that are turned on, but with this front that you're seeing, those skies that you're seeing, it's been 2.5, almost 3 days of this kind of weather. Lots of rain. Temperatures dropped drastically in the last couple of days. These fish are technically shut down, but they're still feeding. It's just that they won't move far for your offering. And by putting horizontal baits out there like we have been before, chances are it's a hit and miss situation. What we're doing is isolating those fish, seeing them on the scope, the Garmin scope, and then we're vertically dropping a bait right on their heads. And as soon as you do that, then they get all excited.
They get crazy.
moving around.
Get cranked.
As far as our tactics and lure choices for today's episode, one of the presentations I'm experimenting with is a new style of tube jig that I recently discovered. It's quite a bit longer than the normal tube, doesn't have the standard tentacles, it comes pre-rigged with the jig head inside, and it's quite heavy. Pete, on the other hand, is using a basic Ned rig with a tiny 2 3/4 inch soft plastic on the dedicated Ned head. His bait falls at a medium rate to the bottom, while mine looks like it was shot out of a cannon. 2 totally different presentations, yet with very similar do-nothing, no-frills profiles. And as you can see, both of which are working well on today's cold front smallies.
That was a bad. Oh, he's a nice one too. Like,
he?
he's not huge, but he's nice. Here's where you gotta watch yourself when you got your trolling motor on anchor. There he is. There he is. Nice. Trolling motor on anchor mode.
Yep.
And these things are pulling like crazy. They can pull you right into your props. You really got to be careful here.
That's what smallmouth bass fishing should be like every time out.
And they're fat. These fish are so fat. For early August. We're fishing in midsummer. These fish are just loaded with food. Come here, buddy. Another beautiful fish. Not a giant, but a gorgeous little fat football. As you can see, we got all our hard baits laying out, everything that we experiment with. And Angela's using a tube, I'm just using a little Ned. See, everybody hears about Ned rigs lately. It's been kind of a normal bait for smallies anymore. Look at just a little compact football. Nasty, fighters, the eaters. They rarely do they sit still, but we run a school here. They're pretty much sitting still, because usually they're on the move and they're eating like crazy all the time. You know, little monsters, feeding monsters. So, hey, buddy. And basically just letting it sit on, I don't know if Angela's doing the same thing. I'm just letting it sit on the bottom, barely working it. I had to go to a heavier head because this wind is strong, so that's a heavier Ned head. Just work it along the bottom and just hope for a pickup. You know, some casts, sometimes you go 10 or 12 casts and I get a bite, and then 2 casts in a row you get them.
Oh, no.
Oh my God. Oh, that is a giant. Just to let you know, we're not all about hardcore fishing throughout every minute of a shooting day. We got to keep the machinery fueled. When staying at most full-service, all-inclusive lodges, bringing out a boxed lunch prepared by the kitchen staff is always an option.
And unless there's a chance at a classic Canadian shore lunch, we normally like to take our lunch to go. It saves so much time during the course of a day. Oh, and by the way, when Pete said it's not all about hardcore fishing, even on lunch break, we're always looking for fish.
That was so weird, Ange.
What?
Just the way this fish hit.
Oh,
It was just not. Whoa,
good one?
full drag.
Well, that's
I got my
always
drag
good.
stuck stiff too. He's cooperating decently. So Ange we just found some wood and we both got snagged up in it. It's a walleye, it's a nice one.
No
Look at
kidding.
the size of this walleye.
Yeah, that's
Oh
an
my
eater right there. Boy, would that make a nice shore lunch.
Oh my God.
Would that make a nice shore lunch, buddy?
Yeah, no kidding.
He is lucky we're not in eating mode.
That is amazing. You're getting a little bit of everything out here. That tells you what, when you find the food source of these fish, you can get multiple species and lots of your target species. Gorgeous. Perfect. Like Ann says, perfect eater walleye. Depending on where you are, anywhere in Ontario now, there's slots. So you definitely would need to bring a measuring board, tape measure, something, and measure that fish, squeeze his tail like that, get as much measurement as you can out of him, make sure you're in the range of keepers, or make sure you throw them back, because if you get caught with fish that are not the right size, you will get charged. So, and there's a lot of places in Ontario now that have size limits, etc. So be careful with that.
The new modern day tube that I've been throwing so far, for some reason, started to slow down on me. So I decided to stay with the same program, but go to a basic pumpkin colored 3.5-inch old school tube. Bread and butter, baby.
Oh my God. Hanging off a submerged tree.
Oh, no. Coming at you.
Got it. Oh, that's a slab. That is a giant. Whoa, nice job, buddy.
Come on, buddy. Let go.
In the bottom lip?
Yeah.
How often does that
Right
happen?
there.
Oh yeah, nice job, buddy. Ooh, we take those.
He's got a bit of a bump.
We like those. That's a big fish. Look at that big dark slab.
Oh, that is cool.
Jumped right up, beautiful
nothing more
silhouette for me.
exciting, eh?
Yeah.
And we can see these fish. I mean, they're all bunched up on the bottom. They're not ready to start actively running around and busting up the bait and stuff.
Look at the gut on her.
Yeah.
And it's full. Like that fish is full.
Yeah.
It's still eating.
That is great.
Good stuff.
All right. In you go. I think I'm gonna need a new tube.
That's okay, that one was worth it.
Worth it?
Okay, let's get back on them. They're right in that
Don't
one
mind
spot.
telling you, that made me a little nervous.
No, no kidding.
And as you could tell, I had no control over that fish. I mean, he pretty much was free to go anywhere he wanted. I saved it, Pete. I saved my tube.
Good man.
Yeah,
Pull it right back onto it.
yeah.
Beautiful.
There we go.
If you want to talk about an adaptive creature, the smallmouth bass surely fits well into the category. In Ontario, for instance, their numbers are as incredible in Lake Erie, the most southerly point of the province, as they are in the upper reaches of Lake of the Woods in the northwest portion of the province. That's about 2,000 kilometers of highway driving. When you add in pretty well every fisheries management zone in between, you can see these fish can tolerate a wide variety of conditions. Strong fish, man. Come here. Come here there, young man.
Chidden. Come here, Chidden.
Look at the size of these things. Like this is a skinny one, and he's still a good-sized fish. That's a small one in this school. That's really small in this school. You get loads of fun, but really small. Belly and all. See you, buddy? Little Ned rig. Lock her up again?
Yep. We're right in front of a tree, which is perfect. There's fish all around it.
There's probably hundreds of smallmouth around us right now. Today's hotspot is a great smallmouth bass area on Eva Lake. The waypoint on your screen will get you there. Although Camp Quetico offers access to 40 lakes for a variety of species, if you're a smallmouth lover, there's no need to leave Eva Lake. In most areas like this hotspot, we scour left, right, and center looking for structure and cover that holds fish. If you find signs of sunken timber or other classic forms of cover and structure, make sure you investigate it thoroughly. Of course, with today's extremely powerful and accurate electronics, we always look for signs of fish in these areas. No matter where you go, Northern Ontario's smallmouth bass fishing is tough to beat. For more hotspots like this one, check out fishingcanada.com. Whoa, this is a mutant. Oh, I thought he got off.
Yeah, no, he's on.
Oh my God, I think it's bigger than the other one.
Okay, we're getting spoiled is what we're doing. I mean, that's a nice fish.
The area we're fishing today is slightly north of Quetico Provincial Park, a world-famous park known for its excellent portaging and fishing with an emphasis on smallmouth bass. Only barbless hooks, artificial baits, and no outboard motors are permitted in the park. This massive park is almost 5,000 square kilometers and shares its southern border with Minnesota's Boundary Waters Canoe Area, part of the Superior National Forest. Quetico Provincial Park includes over 2,000 unofficial, unimproved wilderness campsites spread throughout more than 600 lakes. That, my friends, is a lot of fishable water.
Whoa, this is a mutant. Oh, I thought he got off.
Yeah, no, he's on.
Oh my God, I think it's bigger than the other one.
Okay, we're getting spoiled is what we're doing. I mean, that's a nice fish.
3 pounder, 3.5 pounder, and we're saying, oh, nice.
Whoa!
Nice, buddy. Look at that, look at the beef.
You know
on
what?
that
He's
guy.
bigger than I thought.
Yeah, he's more than 3.5.
Oh, yeah.
4Z.
Well, top lip this time where he should be.
Nice work, buddy. Look at them again, full bellies. Every one of these fish is full.
They're just chock, and that's why they're sitting down there too, by the way.
Yeah.
There's not much reason for them to be up chowing down on those big schools of bait.
Every now and then they do a shot.
Yeah. They're gorgeous fish, though. Nice stripes in that one.
Woo! Nice work.
Yeah, pretty hard to control a boat in this. As soon as Pete went off on the lock, whoa, we almost lost the cameraman that time. Pretty hard to have control, but you know what, in these conditions, who cares? We're out basically in the middle of this, we'll call it a mini lake, and we literally have only worked 2 places on this whole lake, and that is here and right across the gully there on the other side. And there's not much reason to be moving around. And depending on the mood that they're in, and which is obviously weather dependent and food dependent, but they'll come up off the bottom, feed on the surface in 30 feet of water, 20 to 30 feet of water, or they'll just sit right on the bottom and just kind of hunker down, and that's when we drop the jigs down on them. So vertical presentation when they're not as aggressive. Obviously fish like that are so stuffed full of food, they're not going to be roaming around chasing anything down. So vertical presentation in that case, but when they come up and are hungry and aggressive, then horizontal, and we'll use top waters. And
Fun time begins. As you can probably tell, Ange and I are huge fans of the smallmouth bass. Yeah, there are a number of skeptics out there that still consider them damaging and invasive. Hey, everyone's allowed their opinion.
As far as we're concerned, regardless of how they got there, where they came from, or how they play in the sandbox, we've learned to love these little brown beauties. God bless the smallmouth.
To get to some of the best smallmouth bass fishing in all of northern Ontario, drive north on Highway 400 to 69. From there, turn west on Highway 17. Next, take the 102 bypass at Thunder Bay. From there, head west on Highway 11 and finally turn right on Camp Quetico Road, which takes you to the beautiful Camp Quetico on Evo Lake. This great resort oozes everything fishing from the moment you arrive. Evo Lake is an awesome fishery if you want to stay close to the lodge. However, with over 40 lakes nearby, your party can fish a different lake each day for smallmouth bass, northern pike, walleye, and lake trout. As with most Ontario lodges, you can choose an all-inclusive American plan, or you can bring your own food and go with the housekeeping plan. Either choice will make a great fishing vacation.
The Fishin' Canada Show, brought to you in part by Yozuri Fishing Lures, fish the best. Mercury Outboards, go boldly. And Outdoor Canada, Canada's only national fishing and hunting magazine.
Closed captioning for this episode is brought to you by FishingCanada.com, the gateway to your next fishing adventure.